extend my warm greetings to our esteemed dignitaries, faculty members, researchers, students, and all distinguished guests who have joined us here on this significant occasion. With great pleasure, I request our beloved director, Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, to kindly accompany the Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. T. Ramasamy, onto the dais. I request Dr. T. P. D. Rajan, Dr. P. Jayamurthy, Mr. Valan Rabindro, and Ms. Diya Malik to join the dignitaries on the dais. It is an absolute honor to stand before you today as we gather to celebrate the 13th Foundation Day of the Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research during the CSIR-NIIST Golden Jubilee Year celebrations. As we celebrate, let us remember the words by Louis Pasteur. Science knows no country because knowledge belongs to humanity and is the torch which illuminates the world. ACSIR has been carrying this torch for over a decade, fostering innovation, academic excellence, and cutting-edge research that transcends boundaries. Foundation Day is not just a commemoration of the past, but a reflection on our journey and aspirations. It is time to acknowledge our achievements, rethink our commitment to scientific advancement, and envision a future of groundbreaking discoveries. Today, we are honored to have with us Padma Bhushan awardee, Dr. T. Ramasamy, whose presence adds immense value to this celebration. As we embark on today's program, let us celebrate our shared passion for knowledge, research, and innovation. Once again, a very warm welcome to you all. Now I invite Mr. Valan Rabindro, President of ACSIR Science Club, CSIR-NIIST, for the welcome address. Valan, please.
A very good morning to everyone. Honorable Chief Guest, beloved Director, esteemed dignitaries, respected faculty members, distinguished researchers, dear colleagues, and my dear student friends. On behalf of ACSIR Science Club, it's my honor and privilege to extend a warm welcome to you all on this momentous occasion, the 13th Foundation Day celebration of Academy of Scientific and Innovative Research. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate establishment of this esteemed institute and reflect its remarkable contribution to science, innovation, and research excellence. 13 years ago, ACSIR was born with a vision to bridge innovation and scientific excellence. Today, we stand as a testament to that vision, a community that fosters curiosity, collaboration, and cutting-edge research. This day is not just a celebration of our past achievements, but reaffirmation of our commitment to shaping the future of science. Since its inception, ACSIR has been a beacon of academic brilliance, fostering a culture of scientific inquiry, critical thinking, and groundbreaking discoveries. It has empowered scholars and researchers across the nation to push the boundaries of knowledge and address some of the world's most pressing challenges. None of this would have been possible without the relentless dedication of our esteemed scientists, faculty members, researchers, and students. Today, we are honored to have with us our distinguished chief guest, Padma Bhushan Dr. T. Ramasamy, whose pioneering work in the area of leather technology continues as inspiring all. His visionary leadership in policy making, innovation, and sustainable development has left a lasting impact on India's scientific landscape, fostering education, industry growth, and global collaboration. His work continues to inspire advancement in science and technology for societal benefit. With this, we request our director, Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan, to kindly welcome our chief guest, Dr. Ramasamy sir. We welcome you, sir. It's my immense pleasure to welcome our director, Dr. C. Anandaramakrishnan. Under your exceptional leadership, NIIST has started soaring to newer heights in all parameters, sir. We welcome you, sir, for this 13th ACSIR Foundation Day celebration. I also welcome Dr. T. P. D. Rajan, Head HRAD, and Dr. P. Jayamurthy, ACSIR Coordinator to this program. On behalf of ACSIR Science Club and the organizing committee, I extend my heartfelt welcome to all the esteemed faculties and students to this program. I also welcome the participants who are watching this program through online. With this, I welcome once again all the faculty members, students to the CSIR Foundation Day celebration. Thank you.
Thank you, Valin. With utmost respect, I invite our Day Director, Dr. C. Ananda Ramakrishnan, for the presidential address. So please.
Most respected Dr. Ramasamy sir, Dr. T.P.D. Rajan, Dr. Jayamurthy, Dr. Mr. Velan, Ms. Divya, all my colleagues, students, good morning to everyone. Indeed a great honor for today's event to welcome one of the celebrated scientists of the country, Dr. T. Ramasamy sir. Thank you sir, thank you so much for accepting our invitation being with us today. Sir is my teacher, mentor, you can call it anything. Whenever I stuck any point of time, one person it come to my mind is Ramasamy sir. Just I'll go to his office, I'll ask, sir, this is the problem I am facing, what I have to do. Solution also will be very straight and very clear. This is what you have to do, nothing else. Things will be settled. Such a rich knowledge in the chemistry, leather technologist. More than anything else, he is a passionate scientist, love our country like anything. He dedicated his whole life for the science. I can say this word is again the same, whole life for the science of this nation. I have seen him as a teacher when college time my classmates, they won't go to other classes. Once TR class is there, everybody will rush morning. No. He won't allow even 1 minute late to the class. Such a punctual way he conduct the class. Not only that, from when we are in the student time itself, we wanted to see that how one person can work like 20 hours or 20 plus hours. After I completing my course, one point of time I wanted to invite sir. I went to CLRI, sir was the director, along with the Krishnasamy sir, who was the principal of that institute. I invited sir, is accepted. Then the chairman of the college sent a Condasa Classic. That time, those days, that is the biggest car. So we took that car to invite him. He told, no, I won't get into this car. He took not CLRI car. He took his own car. He drove himself to reach the venue. That is almost 40 kilometers away from the CLRI. Each and every moment of his life, it demonstrates how to contribute for the national building. I don't want to tell about other personal things. Lot of things I learned from sir. After I become a director of NIFTM, April I took over. Then first event I invited sir to the NIFTM. Again, sir has advised me how to manage the scientific organization at the institution like a NIFTM. One more thing also sir said to me, you need to demonstrate you are doing good. More than you are practicing, you have to demonstrate. Nobody has approached me anything other than what's supposed to be. That's what I demonstrated you have to do. Lot of time I mentioned this one to my student and other places also. That's what still I follow what sir taught to me in personal life or professional life. I'm following that. Thank you so much, sir. I don't know, I can speak whole day about sir. One incident you can think about CSIR. When sir took over as the director of CLRI, the same day 400 tanneries were closed. More than 1 lakh people have lost the job. Tamil Nadu is one of the economy of Tamil Nadu runs with the tanneries. Whole that North Arcot, South Arcot district tanneries are closed. Supreme Court ordered to close. If I would have been in that position or any scientist would have been think, the solution may be there, but we don't know how to implement because we have other restrictions. Sir always break that. He took everybody to that hotspot, opened the tanneries within a stipulated time. Today, one of the highest exporter in the industry in Tamil Nadu is the leather export. And yesterday I requested sir, you have to talk that story to the student. Sir told, no, I didn't prepare for that. I am going to talk about ACSR. Told at least this, what so many stories are there, what sir has implemented. This is the one. Second, how many of you here inspire students, inspire fellows, student? See that all of you have to be grateful to one person is Dr. T. Ramasamy sir. DST, the budget was very less, 600 crore. I don't know, yesterday sir was telling, today is more than 6,000 crore. But that time, Inspire was introduced and framed The structure has made, including the Inspire faculty, Inspire fellow, all the things put in front of the government, get it cleared. Today you know that impact of that Inspire one scheme, how it is implemented throughout the country. Even you can take it, that time SARS, one of the longest serving DST secretary. If you go to the Wikipedia, you can see that yesterday I have seen that Sir is not IAS, but still his name is there, list of the civil servant in that Wikipedia. I asked, sir, how come you are not a, then yesterday you see Manmohan Singh name also is there. If is there, my name, but Sir was the, it's still, it's considered as a civil servant. So that's what it's a little bit line is there, scientific administrator and civil servant, that you need to transform yourself to little bit a leader side rather than the management. So that Sir will explain today how it is that from that point the DST, whatever the scheme is implemented, those time normally DST won't give fund for the private institutions, private universities. So I started giving the support grant for the private institutions. Now India is the number 3rd in the number of publications. A big leap we made it. That time we are, I think, 9th. Within the 10 years time we moved into such a level, and the infrastructures from the even small institution to the larger institution, IIC, IIT, everywhere you can see that the national building, we used to say that vision, thinking beyond his time. That's what always I used to see. Yes, sir. That's the way he looked into that. This is the what it is, the principle, that live with the principle. You can speak, but the practicing and live with that, it's a very, very difficult. Once again, thank you so much, sir. You are coming to our institute itself is the big blessing for us. Today we are celebrating ACSIR Foundation Day. ACSIR itself is the another baby of CSIR. When the bill was introduced to Parliament, a lot of debate was there. So many INI bills were introduced. 2 bills was largely debated. One is that IIM bill, second one is the ACSIR bill. When we introduced NIFTAM bill, not much. It went to 2 times the cabinet, it come to the Parliament, is approved. But ACSIR bill was not like that. Heated argument inside the house, outside the house, and very long time it took to bring it. That means CSIR has the different structure. Now we are moving into another structure of ACSIR, how it is going to be. That time DG was telling this will be complement to the CSIR, CSIR will complement the ACSIR. That's the idea ACSIR has created. 2010 we introduced, 2012 it comes to the enforce it. We used to pay huge amount of tuition fees for the local institutions, and sometimes they will ask us to put it the guiding and all the stuffs. We are unable to structure our courseworks and all other things, but ACSIR has given a lot of flexibility to run our own curriculum, our own way of taking the students and training the students. Today NIRF ranking also we are 12th, last year also very good rank. Not only that, recently we signed agreement with the RMIT. Lot of exchange program has started. Our PhD students are moving to RMIT Australia. They are getting trained there. Again coming a dual degree. We started giving, not only CSIR is giving the degree for the CSIR, we expanded to even ICMR and other institutions as well. So definitely CSIR is supporting CSIR system. Hope it will have more support what we are thinking the structure. That can financial support also if comes from the ACSIR. That will be the dream when we started working on the ACSIR framework. I was one of the founder ACSIR coordinator. When I was started, I was the coordinator for the CFTRA. So I know that how difficult is we faced when implementing this framework in the CSIR system. Now it is a totally streamlined, and here more than 95% of the students from the CSIR-NIIST all are from the ACSIR. Hope we will take this into the next level in coming year. Greetings to everyone who are under the ACSIR stream. Hope with the support of industry, what is the dream we wanted to do it, the translation research will come true in future. Once again, thank you so much for everyone joining today for the Foundation Day of ACSIR. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. T.P.D. Rajan, Head of HR to introduce today's Honorable Chief.
Good morning to all. Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Ramasamy sir, beloved Director, dear Dr. Jayamurthy, Mr. Valan, Ms. Dia, dear colleagues, scholars, invitees and participants. I have great pleasure to introduce our Chief Guest, Padma Bhushan, Dr. T. Ramasamy sir, former Secretary of Department of Science and Technology, DSIR and DG CSIR, and currently Nayudamma Abdul Wahid, Chair Professor of Anna University. Sir has completed his bachelor's and master's degree in leather technology from University of Madras in 1969 and 1972 respectively, with first rank, and Doctor of Philosophy in Chemistry from University of Leeds, England in 1976. He carried out his postdoctoral research in energy at Ames Laboratory, Iowa State University, USA in 1978 to 80, and on electron transport phenomena at Wayne State University, Detroit, USA from 1981 to 83. He was also visiting fellow at University of Newcastle during 1983 to 84. He has joined the CSIR Lab, Central Leather Research Institute, Chennai, as scientist in 1984 and served as its director for more than 10 years during the period 1996 to 2006. CLRI has earned a global leadership status during his tenure as its director, as evidenced by the 30% global share of publications in the leather technology, greater than 7% of global patents, especially in leather technology, and he positioned it as a fashion forecasting and also a level for private-public partnership built in the leather technology. He has led CLRI in providing cleaner tanning options for a group of 764 tanneries in a record time of 12 months, as mentioned by our director. Sir assumed the role of Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India in May 2006, and he served as Secretary for 8 years, that is from 2006 to 2014. He was one of the longest serving secretaries in the Government of India. During his period as Secretary, Department of Science and Technology, he introduced several programs and mechanisms for R&D funding and many novel schemes. One among that is the INSPIRE, which has emerged as a game changer in attraction of talent of science. Another program is on PERS, focused on regeneration of the research in Indian universities and also the establishment of the Science and Engineering Research Board of Department of Science and Technology. He was a major contributor to the formulation of Science and Technology and Innovation Policy 2013 of India. During his 8-year stint as the Secretary, he was instrumental in its budget increase that jumped several fold and launched many other new programs under Department of Science and Technology. He was also holding additional charges of Director General CSIR for a few years. He had published more than 250 papers, filed 50 patents and developed 12 process know-hows. Several technology developed by him are in extensive commercial use in the industry. And he has received many awards. I am giving here the selected awards. What is the Padma Bhushan Award in 2014, the Padma Shri in 2001, Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award in Chemical Science in 1993, Material Research Society of India Medal 2001, Vasvik Award in Environmental Science in 2004 and Chemical Science in 1997, and Dr. Y. Nayudamma Memorial Award in 2008. He also received Coleman Research Prize for the best doctoral thesis in UK in 1976. Other major awards are Platinum Jubilee Award for Indian Chemical Society in 2001, Chemito Award for Excellence in Chemistry and Life Science, Silver Medal of Chemical Research Society of India, Om Prakash Award in Science and Technology, and various other awards. He also have been awarded the honorary doctorate degree by the CSIR in 2024. He is fellow of most of the national academies, Indian National Science Academy, Indian Institute of Chemical Engineers, Third World Academy of Science, Indian Academy of Science, Indian National Academy of Engineers, National Academy of Science of India, Indian Leather Technologies Association. And as Director has mentioned, he has dedicated the whole life to the Indian science, and we can place him one among Raman, Ramanujam and our Ramasamy sir. So I am very fortunate to introduce him today here. He is really a role model to all budding young scientists and research scholars here. Welcome sir. Thank you very much.
There is a short video about Sir.
Dr. T. Ramasamy, a name synonymous with innovation, leadership, and vision in Indian science. Born on April 15, 1948, he earned his bachelor's and master's in leather technology from the University of Madras, a PhD in chemistry from University of Leeds, and completed postdoctoral research in the United States. Returning to India, he focused on building indigenous scientific capacity. As Samy has authored over 237 papers, holds 44 patents, and commercialized 12 technologies. A fellow of all 3 Indian Science Academies and TWAS, he serves on many global advisory boards. Dr. Ramasamy's enduring legacy lies in his commitment to leveraging science and technology for societal benefit, fostering inclusive growth, and shaping policies that reflect India's democratic values and diverse needs. Today, we are honored to welcome Dr. T. Ramasamy to CSIR-NIIST as we embark on a shared journey towards sustainable innovation and scientific excellence.
Now I invite none other than our most respectable chief guest, Dr. T. Ramasamy, to address the gathering.
Very, very good morning. The esteemed director of this institution, Dr. Ananta Ramakrishna, Dr. Rajan, Mr. Valendra Bro, Dr. Jayamurthy, Ms. Malik, the computer conducting the whole program, faculty, scientists, staff of NIST, CSIR-NIIST, and all those who are joining us today in person and through the web streams, and joining this entire program in the house. Warm greetings to all of you. Let me wish the ACSIR on its foundation day the very best in the years to come. The girl who competing talked about Louis Pasteur. She quoted Louis Pasteur. Several years ago, 1964, I was trying to join BTech course in AC College. My father sent me to join chemical engineering in AC College, where my uncle had studied earlier. I had got admission in engineering. I decided not to join engineering. I want a science course. So if you're a 16-year-old and you want to do something which your father does not approve of, what you do is go on hunger strike, because mother will come into place, and mother was more powerful than the father at home. So my mother said, let him study chemical engineering, where brothers had studied before. So I went to AC College of Technology to apply for chemical engineering, like your director. You went to the same college. It turned the Leather Research Institute had a quote from Louis Pasteur. I don't know whether many of you know, Louis Pasteur, son of a tanner. His father was a tanner. What happened was he found suddenly these vegetable tanning solutions blooming and frothing. So he sensed that means some microorganisms which are doing this job. So pasteurization took place because of tanning industry. And it turned out, he put here, Madam I had this great quote, place of work is a place of worship. I got very impressed. So I decided to apply for leather technology alone. My father didn't approve of that, it didn't matter. But the reason I'm trying to quote this to you today, you are a foundation of a ACSR body. It's interesting that she quoted Louis Pasteur. Louis Pasteur is truly a role model for all those who are working in CSIR systems. Louis Pasteur was differentiated from Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein was a great soul, but he did knowledge for the sake of knowledge. Louis Pasteur did very high science and high applications. Therefore, on this foundation day,
I thought I'll share with you my perspective for ACSR looking ahead. But I came here with a fairly simple-minded approach to talk to young people. Your seniors frightened me off, saying all kind of things, comparing with Raman and Ramanujan. I think while you try to raise my platform, don't lower them. They are far more valuable to society than Ramasamy is. Your director had seen me when he was a BTech student. I was at that time director or something. So when you are in the early phase, you look at those guys in these positions with some sense of awe. Actually, when you become one yourself, you recognize this awful person. They are not person without, they are awful people. I was worried the way Anant was talking about me, whether he will reveal all my stupidities. But he knows many of them. And his classmates were my students, and I know in a hostel they will go and talk about the teacher only. I'm sure my students have talked about me in their presence. Anyway, it's a good day. Okay. Let me wish the academy very well. And it is a unique body. It talked about scientific and innovative research. CSIR has industrial research. I did not know if research can be without innovation. Research has to have originality, but all original ideas are not innovative. Some ideas are innovative. Innovation, by definition, is the first gainful application of knowledge, not generation of new knowledge. This has been articulated in the Science, Technology, Innovation Policy of 2013. We have defined what is innovation. So innovation is about gainful application of knowledge. So scientific knowledge need not be relevant, can be excellent. But innovative research has to be relevant and convergent solution. So let me now share a few minutes with you of not celebrating the past, as she said, but looking ahead, where we want to go from here. If we look at CSIR as a concept behind, the first time such a in-house based educational program was designed was BRC. It was Homi Bhabha. At that time, people trained to do nuclear research was very poor. The academic institutions could not provide. So he built his own BRC school for a defined application. It is a homework 1011. When CSIR was built, it was built on a similar grammar. So very soon, atomic energy followed, they put HB system, then the Homi Bhabha school, then space fellows went into university systems, but for their own in-house requirements. But CSIR, as an ACSIR process, has grown to a different scale. And I need to tell all of you doing PhD, I am an alumnus of ACSIR. They gave me an honor degree last year. So I have to now go back and say I am an alumnus of CSIR. Of course, when CSIR was ACSIR promoted, I told why that CSIR is becoming as CSIR. And as an academy, we need to ask the question, how are we different? I was told last year, ACSIR awarded 2,000 plus degrees. Largest PhD producing missionary of the country. Okay, IAC produces maybe 300, 400. So you are looking at the largest body in the country. Now that is the concept behind and future forward. What do we want to look at? Could CSIR become an agent of change? Not change of CSIR, but change of the country beyond the industry and change the country itself, and become the lead part of what I call solution science. Science has two elements: discovery science and solution science. There's something called convergent science. Now, solution science is not written in the DNA of an Indian. See, India discovered zero, concept of infinity. They're a mind-on society. Chinese fellows discovered the paper. They were hands-on. And our science was focused on understanding nature, appreciate the beauty of nature and so on. Not solving problems. So we have to generate a new generation of Indians who embrace the concept of solving problems. So can ACSIR differentiate itself from other universities and become an agent of change and become the lead part of India on solution science? Is something that I am going to speak with you today. And I would like majority of you sitting in this house become solution designers. To design a solution is non-trivial. Okay, I'll share the anecdotes with you later when I go along. I was not going to speak about leather science. Okay, if somebody told CLRI, I said, what is it? Somebody in the hall telling me CLRI, I said, what is it, where is it? I have forgotten. But Anand being Anand, he wanted me to talk about this tannery issues and all that. And he said, I'm supposed to inspire you. But let me now go back and ask what is this academy is all about. As we are assembling here today on the 3rd of April 2025, we need to recall it's the 3rd of April 2012, the Parliament approved the bill of ACSIR. And what did it say? Institutional national importance. Sure. But with the name of furtherance of advancement of learning and research in the fields of science and technology. Use the word in advancement of learning and research in the fields of science and technology in association with curricular scientific industrial research. This is the theme and substance of ACSIR. I would like to leave a thought looking ahead, whether we will limit ourselves to advancement of learning or advancement of India. There's a big difference. Advancement of learning is an individual. Advancement of India is a country, people. That's what I'm going to give. In 2010, when this idea, I'm not talking about 2012, 2010 was the first time this idea came up for approval in the government. We want to look at the advancement of learning as assessed usually by the number of publications you have peer-reviewed journals. And there are Scopus database, CF database, and depending upon the elitism, things will change. So let me now take the most elitistic view of scientific publications, which is Science Citation Index journals or Web of Science Index journals. In 2012, these are data that I collected yesterday. India was 12th ranked in number of publications in ACI database in 2012. When I went to Delhi in 2006, it was 15th. Small country like Netherlands published more than India. So we did a few things correctly. Sometimes we do right things unknowingly, sometimes we do things knowingly also. This is one of those we did knowingly. We did a few things. This is of the publication of the year 2024 in SCA database. Okay, your relative rank. You can see in 2012, the first ranked nation in the world was US. And the very distant second was China. Very long distant 12th was India in 2010. In 2024, the runaway leader is China. And we have become the third after the United States. I like to mention to you in 2006, when I went to the Department of Science and Technology as secretary, the counterpart, the scientific advisor to Prime Minister of England, David King. David King supervisor and my supervisor did PhD in the same professor. So we are in some sense academically connected. So David King came to DSP and he said, "Hey, they are doing this, they are trying to cut off your legs." I said, "David, don't worry about, we'll grow wings, we'll fly." And at that time, he was saying India was very poor in publication. If I had a possibility to meet David, I tell him, "Arey Baba, we have overtaken England." We have done that. Therefore, the context of 2010 when ACSR was conceived has changed in the last 12-13 years. In 13-year journey, it's interesting that Anand invited me to participate in the 13th Foundation Day celebration. There's a history. When I went to the hostel in AC College, I was the first person to go to the hostel and ask for room number 13. Because everybody thought it's unlucky. I said, I'm the lucky number. I room number 13. So they have called me for the 13th Foundation Day. Now let me look at this India science research innovation landscape, which I paint in the process. There are main players in the system. And basically the landscape infrastructure can be discussed in terms of players, can be discussed in terms of focus of the players, can be discussed in the nature of their work, can be discussed in the major outputs they generate and the kind of impacts they create. That's how landscape is done. If you take the science landscape of this country, it is still academic institutions. When I went to the Department of Science and Technology, there were a total of 35 lakh students who passed school final in this country. 8% went to college, which is 2.7 lakhs. Today we have 1.7 crore children finish school and 26% go to college. What was it, 2.7 lakhs had become 40 lakhs in the last 20 years. So academic institutions have grown the elaborate process. And they are the custodians of science because they are the people dealing with 40 plus lakhs of people annual basis. In terms of the total number of students enrolled into tertiary education, we have overtaken the US last year. Therefore, that is in the university system. Now, what is the focus of university? Advancement of learning about nature. Not about the people, about nature. India was able to predict celestial events which take place 1740 years of periodicity without any CSIR lab, without any telescope. Wait, 7th century. Therefore, we are good in understanding nature. Aryabhatta did things which Copernicus discovered much later. Globe, in the earth is a globe, was given by Aryabhatta. I believe Aryabhatta was of Kerala origin. Some people claim he's from Kerala. But let us look at advancing nature. Understanding nature is the character of learning process. The nature of modern India in university system is essentially incremental addition to knowledge. We don't discover anything new. We are very good in reinforcing others' ideas. Most people will go abroad, get trained very well, come back here and continue the work they did as a postdoctoral student, as a doctoral student, and we become glorified postdocs or someone else. Therefore, it is the incremental addition to knowledge rather than a profound new addition, pushing the frontier of knowledge. It's interesting that people, Rajan talked about Raman and Ramanujan. Ramanujan didn't go to university system in this country, but he pushed the frontier of science. J.C. Bose pushed the frontier of science. He opened the idea of electrophysiology. The world of biophysics in this world came from J.C. Bose. I was taught about J.C. Bose when in class 5 in Madurai. He was a great role model, J.C. Bose. Those are not incremental addition, they are leapfrog processes in knowledge. And that's what universities must provide. Universities are focused on giving common understanding, but research is about new understanding. And universities must be engaged in research as well. What the major output of university is the students who get degrees. So most universities are degree awarding missionaries, companies. Believe me, our university research, even now, not significant in originality. And we need to change that profile. Take the research R&D bodies, the main players. We have 680 research institutions in this country. I'm not taking into account the state bodies, I'm talking about the national bodies. Most of our research institutions are involved in strategic good and public good. And if you go back and ask an Indian on the street what they think about Indian research, they'll say, oh, we set this satellite. We made a nuclear bomb. That bomb you can't use because against humanity. Therefore, we have done well in atomic research, we have done very well in space research and so on. These are strategy. There are public good come out in publications, so we see that. And our research is primarily new understanding, not common understanding, and publication oriented primarily. Some patents, CSIR talks about patents. Most patents in CSIR labs are taken for getting promotions, not necessarily for solving problems. And major output papers, patents and strategy goods. I would say our research done in research labs are not translating into commercial space, in manufacturing space. Coincidentally, somebody talked about my biodata and all that. And see, these people have picked up some updated Wikipedia and those kind of things. But I age and I also change. But that doesn't change as fast. I'm no longer academic, an anatomy professor, retired from me. I'm also former professor. But I can now go back and say the 12 processes I commercialized as a scientist created about 7,500 jobs and 15,000 crore turnover in the industry over a period of time. And the first time I developed a technology, I'm going to share this anecdote with you. I came back to India in 1984 to join Central Leather Research Institute, earmarked for closure by Mrs. Gandhi for lack of performance. At 34, you don't go to a place earmarked for closure. The other industry fellows were complaining about CLRI to Mrs. Gandhi. So I went to these galas, and you are saying CLRI has done nothing. Tell me what you wanted them to do. They didn't have anything to say. Tell me what will happen. They were not able to communicate. So finally I told them, supposing I did this, will it be useful? They said yes. So I tried to develop a product and I asked them, what price will you sell, will you buy? Either 40 rupees a kilogram. With 40 rupees a kilogram, I told myself that the raw material price should not exceed 16 rupees. Only then you can get profit. So with 16 rupees raw material, I must get a molecular weight of 3000. But I can't get, only get to 300. Then I told myself I'm going to add a small amount of something which will bridge this 300, 10 of them to make it 3000. I built a molecule with the 16 rupee raw material, the molecular weight of 3000, and built into it chromium compound which will quench the excited state of the organic moiety and prevent photooxidation, and built into it aluminum such that the color yield of the product will be 3 times of what's happening in the marketplace. And we developed this technology in 18 months and commercialized. And it had no international equivalents at that time. Even today they don't have. So what I'm trying to communicate to you, if you want to find research which makes impact on manufacturing, you need to come from the demand side, not supply side. And I believe our modern research in our labs, including our own, is still supply side intervention. We need to go to demand side. Let us take the innovations. there are more innovations taking place in the country than CSIR labs. I don't know why CSIR labs, all national labs. There is a National Innovation Foundation of India. They have registered 3.8 lakh innovations by people who never went to school or college. Informal innovation takes place in this country because innovation is a human creativity process. It doesn't require formal education. In fact, I used to have a famous plot, innovation potential against education, parabola. When education levels are low, innovation is very high. When the school education takes place, conditions in your mind takes place, it keeps coming down. When you become the bottom of this parabolic process, you become a secretary DST. Then it comes back again. Fundamentally, innovation is not about simply conditioned mindset. And you have to cross the barrier of conditioning of mindset of education for you to become innovative. CSIR, therefore, should cross that barrier of conditioned mindset for you to become innovative. And our focus of innovation models is incremental and affordability, incremental innovation, not leapfrog innovations. Low resource intensity, major output startups and entrepreneurship, not significant in global trade. If you take the innovation ranking of the various parts of the world, first 10 ranks, 8 of them are small economies. Finland, Singapore, Norway. 2 large economies, the United States, 5th, and England, 10th. We have some 30 plus. And one good news is China is behind us. But the aspect that we need to look at, our academic institutions are focusing education for job creation. Nowadays, when we went to college, we never asked what is salary and how much job placement and so on. But today, parents asking this question about putting the children, what salary they will get, what placement they will get, what's all those kind of things. So job, education is focused on education for jobs. The number of teachers in enterprises is about 10 lakhs. And fundamentally, in the same AC college where we studied, when I was studying, there were 625 students with about 50 teachers. Now there's 2,200 students with 45 teachers. So you can look at the quality of education. The student-to-teacher ratio goes down, therefore research content will come down. That you say, teaching responsibility is high. So research system, the focus is excellence and publishing papers in high impact paper. Today, I got a mail from one of my colleagues who used to work in NCL, is now in Aligarh Muslim University. So I have published a paper with an impact factor of 8.9. So he sent me this news. So because focus on excellence, but our focus needs to be also on relevance and convergence. And ACSR should look at the process. And the total number of people engaged in full-time equivalent in research environments is about 1.7 lakh. And industry focus on profit, usability, they are risk averse. They don't want to take chances because they are not looking for new ideas. They are looking for proven ideas. And private sector participation R&D is low. Our research in strategic good is very good. And the R&D outputs for public institutions is good. We have done a great job with respect to vaccine, for example. I think we need to go back and ask a little for more serious questions. When I went to the government in 2006, the total number of full-time equivalent in this country calculation was 1.5 lakhs. INSPIRE was created to bring people into the system. If it is 1.5 lakhs, 4% will retire. So you'll get about 6,000 jobs created in this country on science research. For 6,000 jobs, you don't go and tweak the entire education system. It's a very small proportion. And we said at that time, there are 2 parameters used for measuring science research intensity of a country: number of full-time equivalent scientists per million population, and percentage of gross expenditure of R&D as a percent of GDP. These are 2 parameters. And we had number of full-time equivalent per million population was 110. The only country which had lower number than us is a country to which we don't want to lose in cricket matches. And they were 94. And we said this country cannot afford to have. We don't want to raise it. So 2013 policy talked about increasing the number of full-time equivalents to 2.75 lakhs. I'm glad to tell you that today's number is 3.3 lakhs. That means you will get about 12,000, 13,000 jobs per year in science sector, science engineering sector. But number of PhDs produced in India today is 22,000. It was 5,300 when I went, today 22,000. It is a case of supply exceeding a demand. So CSIR need to ask a question, how will they differ from other PhDs? PhDs are getting a degree, but PhDs learning to do something different from others is something that you need to ask. The focus of PhD primarily in public good and discovery science, publications in better journals. The emphasis on solution science and industrial relevance in academic sector is not significant. So the PhDs produced in university systems do not have industrial relevance, do not have high solution base. There is an area of need for this country, which CSIR alone is capable of filling, nobody else. So, nation needs some truly solution designers for industrial and societal problems based on first principles of science and technology. Today's global share of India in high-tech technology trade is 0.6%. There are 9 sectors: armaments, aeronautics, electronics, computer science, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, something like that. 9 sectors. Only 2 sectors we have positive balance of trade: pharmaceuticals and chemicals. All the other 7 sectors we have negative balance of trade. These are high technology trade. This is nothing to write your mother about, that we have saying negative balance of trade. So we need to ask this question: how do we connect our CSIR research done into high technology trade areas where our industrial production gets into global competitiveness in the process? Let me now share with you some anecdote from the Central Research Institute on solution science. Because if I go and tell, when Anantaraman Krishnan was a young man in BTech, if I go and tell, hey Anand, you have to do like this, Anand will say, okay, I will do, sir, but what have you done? You will ask me a question, what have you done? So I have to therefore answer this question. What have I done is essentially the innovative deployment of research, not innovation. Innovative deployment of research, and I'm presenting a national story. It so happened in 1994, I decided to leave the CSIR and join IIT Madras as a faculty, because the greatest thing about a professor, nothing below it, nothing above it. Okay, you can do what you want, nobody can ask you for anything. The freedom, academic freedom. So I told myself, let me become a professor and I don't want to answer anybody. But the DG CSIR, S.K. Joshi, would not let me go. So he told me, you can leave the CSIR only over my dead body. I didn't want him to die for that sake. I stayed on. It so happened in 95, they decided to shift the director from CLRI to ISCT and make me the director. You know why? The Supreme Court was trying to close down leather factories in Tamil Nadu. So they wanted to find a scapegoat. So leather industry deals with the goat, they found a scapegoat. So they decided to make me the director. It so happened in 95, they closed 35 factories. And within 1 month, I was made acting director. The Supreme Court waited for how long. On the day of my appointment as a full-term director, Supreme Court closed 400 factories in Tamil Nadu. So a good omen for the industry. Somebody had become the director on the same day, industry closure. We were on a plane The industry fellows from Supreme Court all beaten up, and I was coming from CSIR. We were in Air India flight. We took a meeting in the plane. Well, we'll solve the problem. So we need to find a technical solution to this problem. There's a legal closure because of pollution problem. But we have to solve the problem of pollution for them to open. We needed to find a SNT solution for it. So we've been telling industry people all the time, don't do this, don't do that, you'll pollute, you'll pollute. So we talk about don't ecology. I moved to the common denominator, do ecology, not don't. To protect the ecology, do this. So tell them positively what you need to do. So we talked about do ecology solution. So what I did was, I did a lot of things which are not necessary. First of all, closure order has already come. Now Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu has to close down. I cannot go back and say, look, give me 9 months, I'll solve the problem. 9 months, Supreme Court won't wait. And the Tamil Nadu government has to impact. So I went and told the Chief Minister, sir, we'll have technology solution, we'll solve the problem. And you found that maybe I have some convincing system. Then he sent a Solicitor General of Tamil Nadu how to approach the court. We said if you close down these factories, 2.5 lakh people lose jobs. That means 1 million people will lose livelihood. So they will be dependent. You will create a law and order problem. In order that we avert the law and order problem, we'll give CLRI and the NIIST lab 9 months to solve this problem. They gave not 12 months, 9 months. 9 months to solve this problem. So Supreme Court gave 9 months. And we also suggested Supreme Court appointed a committee, a judge, to monitor this implementation of 9 months. So within 9 months, CLR will deliver. So if the progress is not taking place, they can close down anytime during the 9 months. So we had all those systems. 148 colleagues of mine went and worked for 9 months in 764 tanneries simultaneously. And we solved the problems with 2 weeks to spare. 2.5 lakh jobs were saved. $1.5 billion worth of turnover protected. $0.9 billion export saved. Ecological changes, challenges of 30 lakh people in that area were prevented. And we didn't stop there. We moved from compliance to standards to a zero liquid discharge. No water will be discharged from tanneries. Okay? And they were originally using 40 milliliters per day, and we reduced it to 6 milliliters per day by water reuse and so on. And this is a change that happened in India, in Tamil Nadu, at the behest of technology solutions provided by CSIR labs, CLRI and NIIST. This is truly a solution science. It is not a discovery issue. Therefore, there's a value for it. What India needs in 2025 is a supply of not solutions, but supply solution designers. If you give a solution, that problem is solved. You feed a man the fish a day, you fed him for the day. Teach a man to fish, you fed for life. This is a proverb. Therefore, what ACSR is trying to do, what TLRA and NIIST did was gave solutions. But what ACSR is trying to do, not give solutions, but give people who can solve problems. Therefore, solution designers from R&D and ability to deploy them creatively. That was ACSR is trying to do. Different from CSIR. Could CSIR be the agent of change in the Indian science research, Indian innovation landscape? That's what we need to ask. It had to differentiate itself from and become a source of solution designs for R&D in industrial establishments, creating new jobs, not compete with the academic sector for the same jobs. If your academic sector is creating PhDs, okay, and I told you with 3.3 lakh, you'll get 13,000 jobs. And that is, if you are producing 2000 PhDs yourself, CSIR, you'll be competing with those university systems. And that's not the way to do. So you have to therefore create a new niche for the CSIR, differentiate from the university system. So could CSIR fill a national gap with respect to human capacity in the research sector? Such people who are generated from CSIR should not try to become scientists in universities and research labs, but should become researchers in industrial enterprises. Because industrial research in industry is a way to go. CSIR was shaped along the grooves of Board of Scientific Industrial Research of United Kingdom in 1942. But the Board of Scientific Industrial Research in England is closed a long time back. There are only 3 public funded industrial research organizations in the world today. All scientific industrial research organizations in the world are closed. There are only 3 institutions: CSIR, CSIRO in South Africa, and CSIR in South Africa, CSIRO in Australia. Therefore, we need to ask, how do we empower the private sector to take research into production and manufacturing? Could CSIR generate industry-ready research professionals for work in private sector? That area, we have only 30,000 people today working in research in private sectors. Can we raise it by 1 lakh? And that's 70,000 people coming predominantly from CSIR. Then we are changing the grammar of this country. Indian research landscape needs changes with very large private sector engagements. And that's the need of the time. A thought to ponder. You see, now the government talks about Viksit Bharat, it's a developed India. For a country to become developed, please understand, technology is not enough. In technology, we may be as good as developed countries. But if a country needs to be considered developed, the per capita GDP of the country must be $12,000. We are at $2,845. If $2,845 become $12,000 in the next 22 years, if you follow the present pattern of growth, the agriculture sector would require 100 years. Industrial sector would require 27 years. Service sector would require 4 years. And if we continued along the same path of differentiated growth of farmer with respect to forest sector, the ratio of per capita GDP of the farmer with respect to agriculture will be 1 to 61 times. It will create social tension. So Viksit Bharat has to therefore look at not Viksit Bharat but Viksit Sukh Bharat. A developed, happy India. A developed, happy India would mean there is no tension, social tension. So could CSIR embrace roles in addition to advancement of learning, because that's what your mandate says, to technological advancement of India, not advancement of learning of an individual, but technological advancement of the country itself. That is what you should look for. And by not just working in association with Science CSIR, because associate is a very loose term. I think we need to go beyond this association. We need to build industrial partners. We need to collaborate with them. A collaboration, a partnership is a co-investment, sharing of objectives, co-investment and co-generation of values. So it is not all the problems of India can be solved single-handedly. You have to work together in teams. And science research innovation system cannot afford to work in verticals of science, research and innovation as 3 verticals. We need a system to integrate them horizontally. And I believe CSIR has the immense capacity to connect the 3 verticals as a horizontal. Science, research, innovation system and provide a cutting edge process. So I call it a ringside viewer of NIIST. I've been coming to this institution from 1980s. okay, when many of you may not have been born at that time. I came here when you are celebrating 25th year. Now we are celebrating 50th year. I come from the times of Damodar. So I know this institution quite well. And I'm going to reveal to you what is my ringside view of NIIST. I'm very pleased that I've come here today. I'm very pleased. Why? I see many young people doing the work with enthusiasm, excitement, having fun with science. Unfortunately, most of our labs, I'm using the word our labs, don't limit it only CSIR labs. To me, all labs of India are my labs. India is my lab. They do work, but I don't see happiness in their face, enjoyment. And Anand keeps telling he's not able to keep pace with me in walking. I am 76, he's much younger, he's not able to just run. The reason I am able to find that energy is because I am happy with what I am doing. So my request to all of you, that energy that I find in the lab, is I'm very happy to have come to NIIST, because I have not seen this in many CSIR labs, including the ones I worked with in the past. But you're all working on project models, even now. And you would say, I have 300 projects, I have so many projects, the FTT and this and that. We have all name nomenclature, complicated nomenclature CSIR generates, all that. Primarily, you are telling me how much money you have brought. I am asking the question, money is okay, money is for purpose, but what problems have you solved? Is a question. There is something that you guys see, I see here. There is one of the very few labs in this country which can work on circular economy. Because many of you are working on products of that nature, interconnect them. There are very few laboratories I have seen which can actually work on sustainability science. Sustainability science is a very complex process. And I believe if India were to become a Viksit Bharat, developed India, please understand, when I was in school, 7th grade, my history teacher was speaking Industrial Revolution, Ramanathapuram. I got up and asked what the energy efficiency of James Watt steam engine. He said, I don't know the answer. So next day I went to 4 o'clock. The science teacher also doesn't know the answer. Then she took me to the principal. And the principal said 15%. How do you get the 15%? Room temperature 30, ratio to 100. Then you would have latent heat for converting the boiling water to steam. Then you convert the steam into mechanical energy. How do you get 15%? He rubbed my hair and said, I also don't know. Then they sent somebody to Madurai to get me this process. Look at this Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution led to wasteful use of atoms and energy. The climate change is a consequence of post-industrial revolution changes. So the rest of the world developed along the path of high carbon footprint. India today per capita release of carbon footprint is 1.96 as against 4.1 of the world average. And the question here, if India were to move along the paths of the United States or Canada, and to get the Human Development Index, same amount of energy, how many years would India require? Therefore, we need to increase the Human Development Index of 0.5 to 0.92 at less than 50 gigajoules per year per person. If you want to do that, you need to have a very different technology grammar, not the present grammar of the world. Therefore, India needs to become a developed world, developed economy, $12,000 plus, but using circular economy and low carbon, if not zero carbon footprint path. And that we have done well in the last 4 years. As a country, we are 8th ranked in terms of what I call climate sensitive action. And our most compatriot China is 52nd rank, and the world of Trump is 59th. Therefore, we are looking at we are the largest economy of the top 10 moving upward. Therefore, you as young people have a responsibility to develop this country with low carbon footprint, low energy, based. So the interdisciplinarity enshrined in the name of this institute. When TKC was here, very cross-disciplinary. We call interdisciplinary means there will be interfaces between disciplines. And interfaces will become tremendous. I'm a surface scientist. You know, many of you are working on surface science. Interfaces problems are huge. I worked in DST. The bureaucracy is a linear world. Science is a non-linear world. Interface is huge tension. So the interdisciplinary produces tension. But anyway, he decided to interdisciplinary nation building role demands not project thinking, but programmatic thinking, and to solve problems for making larger impacts. So could research and development industry target impact and outcomes in preference to outputs, and made the institute open a new window in this country in the R&D space. The current method of working away CSIR, identification of the problem by the investigator, open-ended research with respect to public funds, primarily scholarship activity, publication of outputs, industry links are transactional, the technology transfer. Transfer means donor and an acceptor. But new method of working, identification of the problem by the users. I told you how demand-driven science is important. Industrial sponsorship basis with potential job opportunity. For those working in CSIR, there must be somebody prepared to give a job when you finish a PhD. And they must sponsor it, and they work with the problems, and therefore you move with the solution into a new position. Greater emphasis on technology readiness levels. Most CSIR labs or national labs produce 2 to 3 levels. Make it 4, 5. TRL technology readiness up to 4, 5. Industry links become relationship, not transactional. And the people here getting a degree actually become the custodians of research in industrial enterprises, become the ambassadors of industrial research in enterprises. And CSIR is ideally suited for embracing the superordinate research goals. See, it so happened, can I take 2-3 minutes extra? Oh, I'm sorry. See, once you give me the mic, you poor fellow has no way of controlling me. It turns out the two of us, the head of the DRDO and I as secretary were giving a talk in the National Defense College to Army generals. My friend Natarajan was a very clever guy. He was supposed to speak 30 minutes and answer 10 minutes question. He spoke 45 minutes and made sure nobody can ask a question. As soon as he finished, he took his papers and ran away. I finished in exactly 30 minutes. General said, we don't have any questions on you, but he answered questions on his talk. So this is what will happen if you do a job properly. It finished. The first question was, Army General asked, Natarajan has used Raman's picture in his slide. There is no one like Raman, like Ramanujan, in the CSIR system or DRDO system. All these fellows are system integrators. DRDO are system integrators. What do we need a DRDO? We don't have Raman, we don't have Ramanujan. We don't need a DRDO. Army General is saying we don't need a DRDO. So I said, very nice. I'll quote you from the history of this country. When Chandragupta was not a king yet, his cousins decided that they will put him in a cellar, otherwise that will become a king. He's not a born king. So put him in an underground cellar with 100 others and left them with meal for 1 day. So it so happened the neighboring country came to know Chandragupta was missing. So they want to find out whether they can wage a war against his country. Then what happened was they didn't know how to do. They brought one tiger made up of wax. Asked, can anybody take this tiger out without opening the cage. And they asked, "Arey, what to do?" And the king said, "Arey, find out this fellow Vikramadhan is still alive. Chandragupta is still alive." It so happened all his cousins decided they won't eat. They won't punish this chap. So they decided to have only with Chandragupta eat and the rest of them starved to death. 3 months passed. They found this guy, Chandragupta, alive. They brought him. He brought a heated iron bar, put it on this, melted and came back. And the country decided not to wage a war because Chandragupta is still alive. I said that Indian defense may not require a DRDO, but Pakistan army needs a DRDO in this country. Fundamentally, at that time I said, Raman is a fantastic person. Nobody can take this away. But how many national problems has he solved? To lift a small stone, you can do something right. A problem of a certain magnitude, you can solve individually. But problems as large as a national problem cannot be solved by an individual. India's food problem could not be solved by any individual. It was done by a collective process led by Swaminathan. Therefore, India's superordinate problems cannot be solved by individuals. However brilliant you might be, whether Ramanujan makes no difference. Therefore, this question of ANRF is an opportunity. 20,000 crores earmarked this year for ANRF. Question here, can ANRF, can ACSIR connect all those young people in the system, in the laboratories, pick up a superordinate problem of the country and solve this problem? And that in association with the industry to utilize. Therefore, as CSIR, single largest body awarding degrees, must explore new models of connecting research to superordinate problems of the country and provide a cutting-edge strategic technology. Fortunately, we have imprint available for it. Last year, Australian Strategic Policy Institute did a study of all democracies in the world. Out of 44 critical technologies, 36 of them, China is a leader. 8 were the United States. The one country which had presence in 28 critical technologies is India. We are the third largest critical supply system as a democracy. Therefore, what it tells you, the mood is good, there are talents, there are provisions, there are problems. India's greatest strength, we have a lot of problems to solve. We are never short of problems. The question here, ACSIR as a community, can we address those problems? And I would like to present why we congratulate the foundation and best wishes for a fruitful journey ahead. I will differentiate between this advanced learning as a science. What do we as a science? We do experiment. We publish paper. This is normal science exploration. But industry doesn't do experimentation. Industry focuses and it really realizes solutions. It applies. The question that you want to do, innovation is first application, gainful application of science. And that's what innovative research is all about. Therefore, could ACSIR play the real-time agent of the science sector with industry, or the real-time agent of science sector, not just CSIR, whole science sector with industry, and the agent of industry with science establishments, either way, buildable. I used to say DST has to bring process integrity to scientists and purpose of science to bureaucracy. And I think I want you to, ACSIR, play that role of interface between industry and the research establishments. Could ACSIR become the ambassadors of industrial research and private sector for solving industrial problems through research, not technology, innovations? Research and innovations. The modern science policy of the world is not about this, it's about responsible innovation. That is the current trend, and I think that the whole thing is, thank you all, thank you very much.
Dear sir, it was a pleasure to listen to you. Your words were both thought-provoking and motivating. As a part of our 13th AcSIR Foundation Day celebrations, we had organized various competitions including photography, reels and quiz competition. I know we are all eagerly waiting to know who bagged the prizes. Without much delay, let me invite Dr. Jayamurthy sir, AcSIR Coordinator, CSIR-NIIST, to announce the winners.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. T. Ramasamy sir, our Director, Dr. C. Ananth Ramakrishnan, HRD Head, Dr. TPD Rajan, and office bearers of Science Club, colleagues, staffs and students, very good morning to all. So this Foundation Day celebration at NIIST was organized by the Science Club of CSIR-NIIST, and since its inception in last year, this is the first official function that is organized under this banner. So it comprises of one PhD student of CSIR, of office bearers from all the divisions, and though the formal vote of thanks is due on the way, I, as a ACSIR coordinator, I will personally thank all the office bearers as well as their colleagues for putting tremendous effort in organizing this event. Coming to the duty of announcing the prize winners, the Science Club organized 3 competitions. It was related to quiz, science related quiz, reels and photography contest. So I'll request our Chief Guest to kindly honor the winners with the memento. So first we'll go with the science quiz competition. It was held between the divisions, and the second prize was won by team ETD. So the members are Krishna JS, Ram Keshav and Sandra Sunny. I request the members to come and receive their prizes from the Chief Guest. And first prize goes to team CSTD. Members are Sanjay Verma, Akhil P and Ansi A. I thank Dr. Juby for wonderfully organizing this scientific quiz competition. Next, coming to photography competition, the second prize goes to, can we have the photograph please? Anju Das, who is project associate at MPTD. First prize, can we have the next photo? Rohit BS, who is apprentice from ETD. So ACSIR last year has organized a photography competition at ACSIR level, which included 81 institutions participating. One of our student, Saranya Devi, who is JRF at MPTD, won the first prize under science photography team. Congratulations, Saranya. In her absence, I will request Ms. Athira VS to collect the memento from the Chief Guest. Next, we move on to the Reels competition. Can we have the second prize winners video? Thank you. The second prize winner is Vijay Winfriend, who is skilled worker at MPTD. Can we have the next video, winner of first prize?
De tu ahora, de atracción y me encanta, tan feroz y audaz, cura las grietas como el cemento.
So the winner is Abhi S, who is a MTech intern from Vellore Institute of Technology. He is working in MPTD. Most of the photography and video reels has been backed by MPTD. I thank the jury, Dr. TPD Rajan, Dr. Joshi Joseph, and Akshay Shinde and Naga Srinivasulu for evaluating the reels and photos. I will request them to kindly accept a memento from our director, Dr. TPD Rajan, please. Dr. Joshi Joseph. Dr. Akshay Shinde. Then our photographer Naga Srinivasulu. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations to all the winners. As a token of our love and affection, we request our director to kindly hand over a memento to our chief guest. Now I invite Ms. Diya Malik, Secretary ACSIR Science Club, for the vote of thanks.
Honorable Chief Guest Dr. T. Ramasamy, respected Director Dr. C. Ananta Ramakrishnan, esteemed faculty members, dedicated researchers, passionate peers, and dear friends, a very good afternoon to all. As we draw the curtains on this memorable celebration of ACSIR's 13th Foundation Day, it is my privilege to, on behalf of Science Club, to express our deepest gratitude to everyone who contributed to making today a resounding success. First and foremost, we extend our sincere thanks to our chief guest, Dr. T. Ramasamy, for gracing this occasion with your presence and sharing your valuable insight. Your words have not only enlightened us, but also reignited our passion for research. To our director and the faculty members of CSIR, thank you for your unwavering support and mentorship. Your guidance is the cornerstone of our institute's achievements, and today's event stands as a testament to your leadership. We thank Dr. TPD Rajan, Head HRAD, and P. Jayamurthy, ACSIR Coordinator at CSIR-NIIST, for overall coordination of the ACSIR's Foundation Day celebrations at CSIR-NIIST. We also thank ACSIR Headquarters for guiding and supporting today's event and related activities. A special note of appreciation goes to the Science Club members, volunteers, and the organizing committee. Your tireless efforts behind the scenes, from the coordinating session and ensuring seamless logistics, have been the backbone of today's success. Let's give them a round of applause. Let us not forget the unsung heroes, the technical team, scientific and administrative department, housekeeping staff, IT, security personnel, canteen, guest house, photographer, who worked diligently to create a safe and smooth experience for all. Thank you for your indispensable contributions. As we depart today, let us carry forward the spirit of collaboration and curiosity that defines ACSIR. In the words of Isaac Newton, if I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of giants. Each of you here today is a giant in your own rights, inspiring others to reach greater heights. May the connection forged and ideas shared today fuel our journey into another year of scientific excellence. Thank you once again for your presence, participation, and passion. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dia. Now I request everyone to please stand up for the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you one and all.